Michigan basketball's exhibition opener, a loss to Cincinnati that sparks big questions for the season ahead. Picture this: the Michigan Wolverines, bursting with anticipation for what could be their most electrifying basketball campaign in 5 years, hit the court for a friendly tune-up. But in a heart-stopping exhibition clash against the Cincinnati Bearcats, they came up short, losing 100-98. This wasn't just any game. It marked the first matchup between these rivals in 33 years, with Michigan boasting a 3-1 edge in their historical series. The last encounter was way back in the 1992 NCAA Final Four in Minneapolis, where the Wolverines clinched a 76-72 win to punch their ticket to the national championship. Now, fast forward to Friday night, and the Wolverines faced an early offensive meltdown, committing double-digit turnovers in the first 16 minutes alone. That sloppy play dug them into a 15-point deficit that swelled to 20 by halftime. Yet, a stellar second-half surge from freshman sensation Yaxel Lendeborg narrowed the gap, and a flurry of clutch threes turned it into a nail-biting one-possession thriller. In the end, though, Cincinnati held on for the victory. So, what went right, what went wrong, and what does this mean for Michigan's bright future? Let's dive into the key takeaways from this exhibition loss, breaking it all down step by step to make it easy for even casual fans to follow. Injury updates: who's sitting out and why? Before we get into the action, let's address the elephant in the room, or should I say, the players on the sidelines. Key Wolverines like Merez Johnson Jr. and Ade Mara were absent from the lineup. Merez shared with Maize and Brew that he's dealing with a minor issue, but expects to be back and ready when the regular season kicks off. A coaching staff member confirmed the same for Mara, noting that his absence was purely precautionary to ensure he's 100% for the grind ahead. With those two out, Michigan leaned on a modified starting five: Yaxel Lendeborg, Will Tschetter, Elliot Cadeau, Nimari Burnett, and Roddy Gale Jr. Malik Cordell saw limited time at the center spot, but for the most part, the Wolverines stuck to this compact athletic group. Interestingly, Lendeborg and Tschetter were rarely off the court at the same time, highlighting how much the team relied on their presence. And this is the part most people miss. B's injuries might actually be a blessing in disguise, giving emerging stars like Lendeborg a chance to shine and build confidence early on. Yaxel Lendeborg, the star of the show, just as promised. If you followed Michigan's recruiting headlines, you know Yaxel Lendeborg was hyped as a can't-miss talent. Friday night, he lived up to the buzz and then some, being the clear standout on the court. In his very first stretch of 7 minutes, he drained a corner three-pointer and slammed home a dunk on a perfect lob from Elliot Cadeau. Defensively, he was a force, swiping steals and using his impressive wingspan to disrupt Cincinnati's plans. Offensively, he dazzled in transition, reading the game a split second faster than his peers. But here's where it gets exciting. In the second half, Lendeborg ignited Michigan's comeback, dropping 9 points in just 3 minutes to trim the lead to 11 and force a timeout. He wrapped up the night with a monster stat line: 31 points and 12 rebounds in 30 minutes of action. Imagine the possibilities when the full squad is healthy. Lendeborg is poised to be the Wolverines' go-to guy, turning heads and filling arenas with his high-flying style. For beginners wondering, think of him as a versatile big man who can score from anywhere, defend like a guard, and energize the team in ways that make basketball feel like pure magic. Turnover troubles, a familiar foe that needs fixing. Turnovers plagued Michigan last season, and unfortunately, they reared their ugly head again in this exhibition. The Wolverines coughed up the ball 14 times in the first half alone. That's 8 more than Cincinnati managed. While they tightened things up in the second frame, the team still finished with 19 turnovers overall. Many stemmed from the natural flow of their offense, a sign that this group is still finding its rhythm as they learn to play together. Coaches and fans alike will want to monitor this closely, as poor ball handling can derail even the best teams in high-stakes games. But take heart. With more practice reps under their belt in the coming weeks, this should improve. For those new to basketball, Turnovers are like costly mistakes in a game of chess. One slip can hand your opponent an easy advantage, and fixing them often means better communication and chemistry on the court. Elliot Cadeau. Speed demon in action. Elliot Cadeau's quickness was a highlight reel waiting to happen. Michigan frequently deployed him in pick-and-roll plays. For beginners, that's when a teammate sets a screen to free up a player for a drive or pass. And he excelled, darting downhill and finishing with a smooth and one early on. He showed great commitment to attacking the paint, that's the area near the basket for scoring, and had solid court vision, threading a gorgeous lob to Lendeborg for an alley-oop, one of Michigan's top plays of the game. Cadeau also drew a ton of free throws, sinking 12 of 15 attempts for 14 points, just 4 shy of Michigan's second highest scorer, Roddy Gale Jr. While he doesn't have the scorching hot shot of last year's Trey Donaldson, Cadeau shines as a playmaker, dishing assists to shooters and lob threats throughout. This versatility could make him a linchpin for Michigan's offense, blending speed with smarts to keep defenses guessing. The free throw frenzy, a referee controversy that divided fans. Now, buckle up, because this is where things get controversial. The Big Ten officials brought their mid-season whistle-happy style to what was supposed to be a relaxed exhibition. In the first 30 minutes and 50 seconds alone, a staggering 60 free throws were attempted, ballooning to 83 for the entire game. Both teams hit the double bonus, meaning automatic free throws after certain fouls, by the second half, disrupting any offensive flow. Michigan edged out Cincinnati in accuracy, shooting 85% to 63%. But let's be real. This constant stopping and starting killed the game's rhythm, turning what should have been a showcase of skill into a foul fest. Some fans argue it's just part of college basketball's hyper-physical nature, but others, myself included, wonder, is this ruining the sport? Should refs let players compete freely, especially in meaningless exhibitions where we want to see creative plays, not endless trips to the line? It's a debate that's raged for years. Do strict calls protect players or stifle the excitement? What do you think? Were the refs too aggressive, or is this just how the game is played now? Three-point heroes, veterans and rookies step up. Three-pointers became Michigan's secret weapon in their comeback rally, with contributions from a seasoned returnee and a bold freshman. Will Tschetter, filling in for the injured bigs, handled the ball smartly in the half court and hit consecutive threes in the second half to slice the deficit to 5. He even drew a technical foul for celebrating his second make. Talk about passionate. Tschetter added a desperation shot to make it a 2-point game with 4.3 seconds left, finishing with 15 points, solid interior defense, and lightning-quick transition play. On the other side, true freshman Winters Grady showed no fear, attempting 4 threes and draining 2 crucial ones in the second half for 6 points. His willingness to shoot could earn him more minutes if his defense holds up. For context, Chetter's experience contrasts perfectly with Grady's fresh energy, illustrating how Michigan blends old-school reliability with new talent to spark offense. Freshman focus, learning curves on display. The bench's first 3 players were all freshmen: Trey McKinney, redshirt Oscar Goodman, and Grady. Malik Cordell and Ricky Liburd also saw brief action. Grady stood out most prominently, while the others looked like typical rookies adjusting to the college game's blistering pace. McKinney had a rough start, committing a turnover and foul on a fast break after just 3 minutes. But he settled in defensively and showed promise offensively afterward. Goodman excelled at cutting and defending, but didn't see much second-half time. Cordell and Liburd were quiet in their limited roles, clearly getting accustomed to the speed. This is a natural part of growth. Think of it like a young musician tuning their instrument before a symphony. With time, these freshmen could become key contributors, turning early struggles into strikes. Play of the night, a tough moment for L.J. Cason. About 8 minutes into the first half, L.J. Cason checked in and immediately got posterized. That's basketball slang for a spectacular dunk over a defender. Cincinnati's Sean Abayev delivered it, earning a technical foul for taunting afterward. If there's a silver lining, it's that Kaysen can learn from this high-profile humbling, using it as fuel for future performances. Remember, it's just an exhibition, no sky falling here. Let's keep things in perspective. This was an exhibition game, not a season-defining clash. Yes, the turnovers were frustrating, and Michigan's shooting faltered early, but these are precisely the issues Coach Dusty May mentioned at Media Day, that he wants exposed now. Better to iron out weaknesses in a low-stakes setting than during tense Big Ten battles months from now. The Wolverines have time to build chemistry and sharpen their execution. Look ahead. Next week, they'll face a talented St. John's squad in New York for another exhibition, a chance to show improvement. So, what's your take? Do you agree that exhibitions are valuable for growth, or do they just add unnecessary pressure? And on the refs' calls, fair or foul? Share your opinions in the comments below. I'd love to hear if you see this loss as a setback or a stepping stone for Michigan's promising season.